May kumakalat na video ngayon sa social media ng Vice Presidente. Sabi niya, hindi ko best friend si Claire Castro. Wala akong best friend na ganyan mag-isip.
Totoo naman, admitted na hindi kami pwede maging best friends. Kasi hindi rin ganun ako mag-isip. Kasi after taking the bar, after passing the bar, naging trial lawyer na po ako. Kaya hindi kami pwedeng parang mag-isip. At hindi rin po ako corrupt. Ikaw mismo ay gustong patalsikin ng Pangulo at puro negatibo ang sinasabi mo sa Pangulo. And then you will tell to the people, I'm ready to take his place.
Nagbabalik ang protesta special coverage at sa puntong ito, mula po natin kasama live dito sa studio si Palace Press Officer Undersecretary Claire Castro. Magandang hapon, Yusek Claire, and thank you for joining us this afternoon.
May kumakalat na video ngayon sa social media ng Vice Presidente. Sabi niya, hindi ko best friend si Claire Castro. Wala akong best friend na ganyan mag-isip.
So, nabawasan yung BSF ninyo?
Your thoughts?
Totoo naman, admitted na hindi kami pwede maging best friends. Kasi hindi rin ganun ako mag-isip. Kasi after taking the bar, after passing the bar, naging trial lawyer na po ako. Kaya hindi kami pwedeng parang mag-isip. At hindi rin po ako corrupt. Kaya hindi kami pwedeng magpareho.
Why emphasize on the trial lawyer?
Iba po kasi yung mindset ko. Pag trial lawyer, always evidence. Always evidence.
And
Siya
why
ko,
emphasize on hindi kayo corrupt?
Hindi kasi ako corrupt.
What are you trying to imply?
Wala akong confidential funds. Ayun. Kaya magkaiba kami. Hindi ko pwedeng maisip yung mga nagawa nila mga resibo kasi wala akong confidential funds. Kaya hindi ko pwedeng parang mag-isip.
Pero ma'am, remember nung si VP Sara, she said na she's ready to assume the presidency. You took it as definitely a form of political destabilization. Di ba pwedeng sinabi lang niya na ready siya?
You don't have to say that because it's already in the Constitution. Yun naman talaga eh. Spare tire ka nga eh. But to say it in the midst of this kind of rallies...
Pero hindi ba sinagot lang din niya yung tanong? Kung sakasakali, kung handa ba siya?
Yes, you don't have to. For me, it is not acceptable for a president to anticipate. Magkaiba yun eh.
For a vice president.
To be the vice president to anticipate to take the place of the president in this kind of scenario. In this kind of scenario. Iba kasi yung ready ka for a legitimate reason. Nasa Constitution yun eh. Pero kung yung kaalyado mo mismo, ikaw mismo ay gustong patalsikin ng Pangulo at puro negatibo ang sinasabi mo sa Pangulo. And then you will tell to the people, I'm ready to take his place. Definitely.
So,
it's
dapat
a form
di niya
of
na po
political
sinabi yun.
destabilization.
Dapat hindi na siya nagsalita.
Yes, oo. Not this time.
Okay.
Meron siyang gustong ipahiwatig doon. There's a hidden message.
Gano'ng kalakas ho kaya yung kaso against Congressman Zaldico, knowing that he already divested from SunWest and the burden of proof that he still benefited from that relationship?
According to AMLAC, ang report niya, initial lang report nila, lumalabas yung money trail ay pumupunta talaga kay Zaldico. So, I cannot speculate on my part kasi hindi ako parte nung pagpa-file ng case. So, depende na po yan kung ano yung mga ebidensya na nakalap at kung na-file naman yung ibang case na ng Sandigan Bayan, sa Sandigan Bayan, I think may certainty of conviction na yan.
Saka, ano po bang update dun nga sa case ni Zaldico? Kasi, di ba Secretary John Vic Remulla, sinasabi niya, mahirap nga kasing habulin si Zaldico because of his passports. Dalawa, golden European pa. So, anong ginagawa natin about that?
Pinag-aaralan pa rin siya. Kasi kailangan talaga makabalik dito si Zaldico. At gagawin lahat ng paraan, legal, para maibalik dito si
Di po
Zaldico.
ba pwedeng ma-expedite yung pagkansela ng passport?
Nasa korte na to. So, tingin ko, maski na yung court, dahil marami nag-aabang dito, depende na yan sa mga ebidensyang ibibigay. Ang court naman kasi, hindi lang porkit sinabi ng taong bayan, dapat bilisan mo. Depende pa rin po kung paano to ipoproseso ng korte.
May update po tayo sa kanyang whereabouts? I mean, would you have any idea?
Wala sa aking na ibibigay na anumang information.
Medyo nagiging jet setter po kasi si...
Ganun ba?
Ma'am, in particular interest sa amin yung lumabas na story ngayon sa PCIJ where Sandro Marcos, the president's son, was identified as being one of the beneficiaries tinatawag nilang allocables. Ibig sabihin, parang politically charged allocations in the National Expenditure Program from 2023 until 2025 that eventually became part of the budget. Wala pa namang insinuation na nagbulsa ng pera, pero yung it's parang the new kind of pork barrel daw kung saan beneficiary yung distrito niya. Among them, for example, I think from 2023 until 2025, mga 15 billion pesos worth of projects na napunta sa kanyang distrito sa Ilocos Norte. Versus, for example, just for comparison sake ng PCIJ, first district ng Rizal na yung population is times 4, pero kalahati lamang ang nakuhang projects. So, nagiging very politicized daw yung pagpopondo ng DPWH.
Hindi tayo makakasagot dito. Tingin ko makakasagot dito si Congressman Sandro. At kung lahat yan, sasabi nyo, ay talagang nasa pangalan niya, tingin ko ma-justify niya naman yun. Kung kasi hindi ko pa talaga alam yung ibang mga dokumento na ibinibigay sa kanya. So, or mga allocables na sinabi sa kanya. Hindi pa natin nababasa ng buo yung mga...
But how is it
sinabi ng
possible
PCIJ?
that he gets the biggest share of the pie? Number 1 po siya dun sa listahan eh. How is that possible? Hindi po ba nakaayon yan sa, yung laki ng populasyon,
Or the
laki
need
ng,
of the-
the need
the
of the
constituency.
district. Siya po ay first district lamang ng Ilocos Norte.
Hindi
300,000 lang ang tao.
Wala akong dokumento, Gretchen.
So, hindi po
gusto ko mang
manggagaling sa
sagutin.
PCO yung
Wala
pag-demonstrate ng why they deserve that.
Wala sa akin at hindi kasi din ako takapagsalita ni Congressman Sandro. So, tingin ko na lang sa aking palagay kung ano yung papel na nandiyan dyan at kung ano yung project na nandiyan dyan at ma-explain naman ito ng tama. So, I think si Congressman Sandro na nasasagot.
Actually,
By any chance, Ma'am,
sige, go ahead.
would you know if the President has seen the story of the PCIJ today? And has
Kailan
he
ba siya
reacted?
lumabas? Actually, hindi ko pa nabasa ng buo. Baka hindi ko alam.
Kahapon, actually, kahapon.
kagabi pa?
Kahapon.
Ako, personally, hindi ko pa siya nabasa ng buo.
Well, this is related to the DPWH budget. Isa pa na bring up dito ay meron daw pong DPWH BBM parametric formula that is used to determine yung allocation. So, BBM, baseline, balanced, and managed. At yung formula daw yun, alam na alam ni Yusek Cabral ng DPWH. Siya daw nakakaalam nun na hindi daw maintindihan ni Secretary Vince Dizon, but yun daw ang kanilang, yun nga yung...
Kasihan?
Yun nga, but what's worrisome is it's BBM parametric formula. That's the name.
At nakarating ba sa Pangulo? Yan yung tanong. Yung BBM na to, na parametric, how you call that?
Parametric formula.
Formula. Una-una, tatanungin ko muna ang Pangulo. Kung particular ba sa sakay dyan? Or meron
Kasi
siyang
marami
alam
pong
dyan?
programa ang administrasyon na mahilig po sila sa mga ganyan, yung acronym na BBM, di ba? O kaya Bagong Pilipinas. So in the same way, parang ipinangalan din sa kanya itong formula na to. Although, parang it somehow puts the accountability on the President na mandato niya ito.
Tignan natin kasi kailangan natin tumasagot na maayos.
Okay.
At kailangan ko malaman kung ano yung parametric formula na yan at malaman din ng Pangulo para masagot natin ng kumpleto.
Mathematics yun.
But another thing that was raised was hindi daw natanggal pa itong mga allocables sa 2026. In fact, parang may errata daw na pwede siyang ilagay sa ibang proyekto katulad na lang farm to market roads, irrigation, classrooms, at iba pa. Meron bang, in terms of budget reform, how are we making sure that's not happening
nagawa
again?
na kasi yung 2026 budget na yan, yung NEP na yan, hindi pa nagkakaroon ng ganito. Wala pang investigasyon. So, kung lumalabas lahat ito, yan ang gusto ng Pangulo. Lumabas kung ano man ang problema, lumabas lahat kung may problema man sa budget, and then kung makikita nila yan, kailangan tumaayos. Yun naman ang gusto ng Pangulo
this is all subject to change.
So, maaaring ma-veto pa.
Yes, yun naman ang magiging gusto ng Pangulo dyan. Ayaw nga niya na yung lalabas na nag-aa, yung hindi ayon sa NEP. So, kung may nakikita ng mga problema, then this is the time na i-point out yan. Kasi ayaw ng Pangulo ng ganitong klaseng korupsyon.
Ma'am, Cambio ka ng konti. Kaninang umaga, there were several, I don't know if arrest is the right word for it, kasi they were detained, they were brought in for questioning, but they were eventually released. Tatlong mga umano'y miyembro ng press, social media press, if you might call it that, ng KS21 o Kilusang Setyembre 21.
Have you heard of that, ma'am?
Hindi pa.
Kasi they were wearing vests with Kevlar helmets or what appear to be Kevlar helmets. And,
Kevlar talaga.
well, what appear to be Kevlar helmets.
Yun po ang sabi sa
cannot really
report
tell
sa
because
amin.
it looked like Kevlar helmets, but in this day and age of airsoft, it's really hard to say. And may parang gas mask daw nadala. And they belong though to a social media page that's named Kilusang Setyembre 21, which I suppose is in reference to what happened on September 21 this year na gulo.
Itim-itim.
Oo. They were picked
Nakaitim
up.
din sila?
Nakaitim din sila at may balaklava. Ayun ang balaklava, yung parang bonnet.
Mukhang ready to fight.
Well,
ready to
May
attack.
gas mask pang
May gas mask. Oo.
yun ang implication. Although, syempre, it might also become a press freedom issue as well. I'd like to show it to you sana, pero nawala ko yung page.
Pero
Basically, ma'am,
critical yun eh. With this?
Ang kita lang yung eyes, yung ganon. Tapos, ang kiniklaim nila, nakasuot sila ng press. So, they're identifying as press. Ayun. Tapos, tatlo po sila, ayan, for verification.
This from their website.
Okay. Hindi, kasi ang tanong dito, ako, as a lawyer na lang, what for? Anong reason?
Here you go.
Ayan.
Here's the video.
Ayan pala.
Ayan.
So, legitimate ba silang ano?
Well, ma'am, kasi
Ang daling gumamit ng press,
you
eh.
also have the problem of what's legitimate press to begin
Yun
with.
nga, ma'am.
Kasi,
Kasi you were talking about that
You can
kanina.
also
Ano
use
ba ang
that
press?
as a facade. Di ba?
but
To camouflage. Hindi natin alam.
now with social media, anybody can broadcast and publish.
Kasi ma'am, they claim they're
anything.
funded by this nga yung Kilusang Setyembre 21 na which is a social media page na press din. So,
Ma'am,
I
maybe-
guess they can identify
let me
as
ask you this
press.
lang. As a lawyer, somebody who's also into trial law, what's your perspective as far as this? Well, your perspective as a lawyer and as a spokesman of the
As a
palace.
lawyer muna ha, as a lawyer.
Your perspective
Okay.
on something like this.
Ang pulis kasi, pwede silang tanong pag suspicious yung action. So, of all the people, kung ganyan ang yung get up nyo, why? At ang una mo, bakit? Anong meron?
Just in case
Diba?
magkagulo, ready sila.
Gas mask? I mean, Kevlar helmet?
Di ba, Bok, sa mga dating
Sa war
rally?
zone.
Well, for example, ma'am, maraming mga foreign media stingers and photojournalists who are well prepared for any
That
eventuality.
kind of get up?
Yeah.
Yes.
Although hindi nila parating suot na kagad,
kaya
pero
nga.
nasa backpack nila, ganon.
I think yung gas mask, ganun po ma'am. Nasa dala lang nila, pero hindi pa naman
Pero ba't
nasuot,
kailangan mo itago
if
yung mukha
ever.
mo?
Well, that's another thing altogether.
That's why. So, ang pulis po kasi is meron po silang karapatan na magtanong kung meron suspicious movement. So, nasa authority nila yun.
But I wonder if it's constitutional altogether na ipinagbawal yung all sorts of covering. Nakalagay dito sa Manila
It's in
Manila
Ordinance.
Ordinance
I cannot...
of the Manila
Helmet, face mask, balaklava, cap, hoodie,
Anything
at tinted
covering your
visor.
face.
Ipinagbawal. It was just released
Signed by
November.
the mayor November 3 of this year.
Well, I think the mayor should answer for that. Hindi ko masabi. Siguro may reason sila because nagkaroon sila ng experience doon sa
Last time.
Team Itim na lahat naka-black, lahat may cover, may nagsunog. I mean, that's the experience that we had. So tingin ko, kailangan nila itong ma-stop, ma-restrain at an earliest opportunity.
But as a lawyer, I mean, you're better versed in the law than the mayor is.
But I cannot
Can you
answer for
imagine?
mayors ko. I cannot answer for mayors ko.
Not to answer for mayors ko, pero
Ginigipit mo ako.
I'm just wondering kasi from the point of view of freedom of expression, parang it's anybody's right to wear what he wants in public so long as it's not violation of, for example, obscenity laws or
Ayaw na, kung may experience na before ang Manila because of that, so why wear that? You can wear another thing. You can wear another get up.
Pwede na, pati cap pinagbawal tsaka hoodie.
Kasi kung ang purpose mo naman talaga, kung ikaw mag-wear ka ng hoodie, wala ka namang gagawin, I don't think na matatakot ka. You will be questioned, yes. You will be courageous enough to answer. Na, I'm just wearing this. Pero kung meron ka maitim na balak, na kasing kulay ng itim-itim, talagang mahirapan ka sumagot. Diba?
But that strikes at the heart of the question of motivation. Why wear a hoodie or why wear black? That does not strike at the heart of personal choice.
So,
What if I like black? What if Nikki wears black because she's...
What if nilalamig lang ako gusto kong mag-hoodie?
Payat ang itsura ko pag nakaitim. Nagtatago ko.
Well, this is all theoretical, of course,
yes,
and legalese, but...
di kung gusto mo mag-hoodie na black, huwag na during the rally. For me lang hindi ko po inuunahan si... Ikaw kasi.
Mamaya papasok si Mayor Isko dito.
Yeah, meron siyang reason for this. Kaya niya ito ginawa. At I know naman na nag-consult din siya sa kanyang mga lawyers. So, lugar niya yon at ito ang nakikita niya para maiwasan anong gulo, di nasa Manila po yun.
Okay. May kumakalat na video ngayon sa social media ng Vice Presidente. Sabi niya, hindi ko best friend si Claire Castro. Wala akong best friend na ganyan mag-isip.
So, nabawasan yung BFF ninyo?
Your thoughts?
Totoo naman. Admitted na hindi kami pwede maging best friends. Kasi hindi rin ganun ako mag-isip. Kasi after taking the bar, after passing the bar, naging trial lawyer na po ako. Kaya hindi kami pwedeng parang mag-isip. At hindi rin po ako corrupt. Kaya hindi kami pwedeng magpareho.
Why emphasize on the trial lawyer?
Iba po kasi yung mindset ko. Pag trial lawyer, always evidence. Always evidence.
And
Evidence-based.
why emphasize on hindi kayo corrupt?
Hindi kasi ako corrupt.
What are you trying to imply?
Wala akong confidential funds. Ayun. Kaya magkaiba kami. Hindi ko pwedeng maisip yung mga nagawa nila mga resibo kasi wala akong confidential funds. Kaya hindi ko pwedeng pareho mag-isip.
Pero ma'am, remember nung si VP Sara, she said na she's ready to assume the presidency. You took it as definitely a form of political destabilization. Di ba pwedeng sinabi lang niya na ready siya?
You don't have to say that because it's already in the Constitution. Yun naman talaga spare tire ka nga But to say it in the midst of this kind of rally.
Pero hindi ba sinagot lang din niya yung tanong? Kung sakasakali, kung handa ba siya?
And
Yes, you don't have to. For me, it is not acceptable for a president to anticipate. Magkaiba yun
For a vice president.
To be the vice president to anticipate to take the place of the president in this kind of scenario. In this kind of scenario. Iba kasi yung ready ka for a legitimate reason. Nasa Constitution yun Pero kung yung kaalyado mo mismo, ikaw mismo ay gustong patalsikin ng Pangulo at puro negatibo ang sinasabi mo sa Pangulo. And then you will tell to the people, I'm ready to take his place. Definitely.
So,
it's
dapat
a form
di niya
of
na ho
political
sinabi yun.
destabilization.
Dapat hindi na
so may
siya nagsalita.
tinge of doon,
Yes,
politics.
oo. Not this time.
Okay.
Ma'am,
Meron siyang gustong ipahiwatig doon. There's a hidden message.
Ma'am, do you have any message you want to put across to people watching now and who are also watching the events developing sa EDSA?
Okay, maraming salamat dahil ang mga kababayan po natin ay tahimik po sa kanilang nangyaring yung rally ngayon. At rest assured po na ang Pangulo po ay nakikinig sa inyong mga sinasabi at mga hinaing at ito naman po ay tutugunan ng ating Pangulo. At basta lang po ang inyong pagrarally ay within the bounds of the law. Hindi po kayo pipigilan ng Pangulo dahil kailangan po din natin madinig ang inyong mga hinaing.
Wait, sorry, ihahabol ko lang kasi isa pa sa mga panawagan ay yung anti-political dynasty bill. Posible ba yan na itulak din ng Pangulo, certify as urgent, or any push from the President would help?
Especially since Bojidi, the speaker, also put it out na I also want this.
Dali nila. Nasaan na ba yung bill? Bigyan nila. Tingnan natin. Aaralin man ng Pangulo yan. Aaralin ng Pangulo yan.
Okay. Maraming salamat sa inyong oras para sa Press Officer Undersecretary Claire Castro.